This has got to be one of the worst ever crypto campaigns that I've ever participated in, mainly because the instructions are just so unclear for the steps that you need to take. And the worst part is that this ends on the 7th of May, which gives us less than 5 days to complete all of these tasks. If you're looking to get your hands on the Linea Airdrop, I'll be showing you the steps that I've taken to claim the highest amount of points possible from this campaign. Linea is the ZK EVM that's being built by consensus and currently is still on its testnet version, so there's a chance for you to get an airdrop token if you perform multiple transactions on the testnet itself. The Linea network has just launched their campaign known as Linea Voyage, and this campaign aims to educate users about the different applications that can be used on one of these ZK EVMs. This is somewhat similar to the Arbitrum Odyssey campaign, which was previously run to drive hype about the network and increase the adoption as more users become aware of this layer 2. I would think that this Linea Voyage should have the same goal, and the best part is that it is still on its testnet version, which means that you do not need to use any real funds at all to interact with this network, and I'll be showing you how to get as many points as you can within this current bridge week. There will be 4 main tasks that we need to perform where we bridge some of these different funds from other test networks like the BNB Smart Chain, Polygon Mumbai, the Goerli testnet, as well as Avalanche Fuji, and we need to bridge these tokens to the Linea network. So this will be done using 4 different bridges, and all of them are also on the testnet, so it means that you do not need to use any real life money at all. If you need to add any of these 4 different testnets to your Metamask wallet, the easiest way is to go to Chainlist, and you can select this include testnets function, and then you can search for any of the different testnets, such as the Avalanche Fuji testnet that I'm showing here. So let's go through the very first one that we need to do. The first bridge that we'll be interacting with is Seller Bridge, and our task is to bridge funds from the BNB Smart Chain testnet over to Linea. There are 2 different tokens that we need to bridge over, which are BUSD and BNB. If you do not have any testnet BNB yet, you can go to this faucet that will give you 0.1 BNB every 24 hours, and this can be used on the Seller Bridge. Right now, the Seller Bridge is actually quite laggy on the testnet, and even though I have about 6 BNB tokens, this balance is not reflected on Seller Bridge itself. So that's for BNB, and if you're looking to get the BUSD token, you need to go to Seller Bridge and select this faucets tab. You can click on this button to get some test BUSD tokens, and this will cost some gas fees in the form of the test BNB. I've actually received some BUSD from the faucet, but again, I think the application is just very buggy at this point in time, so I'm still unable to transfer my tokens over to Linea using this bridge. This is still quite buggy, especially since a lot of people may be using the Seller Bridge at the same time. You may want to try this step on another day, and hopefully it will be possible for you to bridge your funds over to the Linea network. In the meantime, it may be best for you to continue accumulating the test BNB tokens, as they may be useful for you to transfer your funds over from the BSC testnet over to Linea. The second bridge that we need to use is Connex. At this time, we'll be bridging our funds over from the Polygon testnet over to Linea. This is by far the easiest bridge that I use among all the 4 of them, as there were no hiccups along the way, and all I needed to do was to bridge my Matic tokens over to Linea. To get some of these Matic tokens on the Polygon testnet, you can go to this website, which is the Mumbai faucet, and all you need to do is to paste your wallet address and log in to Alchemy, which you can do so using a Google account, and this will allow you to get 0.5 Mumbai Matic per day. After that, you can bridge your funds over to Linea, like what I did over here, and this should be the easiest 10 points that you'll be able to receive. Bridge number 3 is the Hop Exchange, and we will need to bridge over 4 different tokens from Goerli, which is the testnet for the Ethereum network. If you've seen my previous video regarding the Linea Airdrop, this Hop Exchange was the best way for you to bridge your funds over from Goerli to the Linea network. Hop Exchange requires you to bridge over these 4 different tokens, and the easiest one that we can use is Goerli Ethereum. If you need to get some Goerli Ethereum, you can check out my video in the description below where I show you the 9 possible methods that you can use to get these testnet tokens. If you bridge over a very small amount of Goerli Ethereum, you'll get this error message and you won't be able to bridge over your funds. So I found that the minimum amount that you need to bridge over is 0.02 Ethereum. Right now, the Ethereum network is extremely congested because of very high activity, and you can see that the gas fees that you pay are extremely expensive as well. And in this case, I need to pay about 0.23 Goerli Ethereum just to process this transaction. You may want to wait for a time when the congestion on the network is lower so that you do not need to pay so much gas fees. This is just for Goerli Ethereum, and if you want to get the Hop and DAI tokens, you can go to the Faucet tab and this allows us to mint the hop and DAI tokens. This minting transaction also costs some Goerli Ethereum, where it's about 0.01 in terms of gas, and I also need to pay about 0.05 Goerli Ethereum in the form of fees for this minting transaction. So again, the fees are quite high on Goerli Ethereum, so you may want to accumulate more of these tokens before you start to perform these transactions. Once you have minted both the hop and DAI tokens, you can then send them over to the Linea network, similar to what we did for Goerli Ethereum. Before we can do so, you actually need to perform an approval transaction first, where it allows the Hop Exchange smart contracts to interact with the balances in our wallet. So this is also very expensive, and it cost me about 0.2 Goerli Ethereum to perform this transaction. And if you'd like to know a bit more about token approvals, you can check out my video in the description below. After the approval transaction has been made, we'll then be able to send our funds over to the Linea network. So again, this approval transaction also costs quite a bit of gas fees. So once this bridging transaction has been confirmed, you may need to wait a while before your funds will be sent over to the Linea network. And once you have bridged over the hop tokens, you can also do the same process for DAI as well. The annoying part about this hop exchange is that it does not have the USDC tokens under its faucet. So I actually spent quite a lot of time trying to find how it would be possible for us to get these USDC tokens. And after reading through some of the documentation, I finally came across this website, which is the faucet for the Linea network, as well as any of the associated networks that are found over here. After you connected your wallet to this website, you can scroll down and you should see the USDC tokens that you can claim. So right now the problem is that when I click on the claim USDC button, it gave me this error message that it's possible that this faucet has already run out of funds. This is quite annoying because we need to complete these tasks by the 7th of May. So it may be good for you to constantly come to this website and see whether the faucet has been filled up again, so that we'll be able to claim our USDC tokens. Right now it seems to be the airdrop season, and there are so many projects out there that could potentially release their new token. If you're finding it hard to keep track of all of these different airdrops, I created a Notion page where I've listed down all of the different networks and projects that I'm looking to farm for an airdrop. This will include both video and text guides that will show you all of the steps that I've performed to potentially qualify for these airdrops. If you want to gain access to this site, all you need to do is to subscribe to my Substack newsletter, which I also left the link in the description below, and the link to this Notion page will be sent to you in your welcome email. The final step that we need to complete is to bridge over funds from the Avalanche testnet over to Linea using the multi-chain bridge. Similar to USDC on the Hop Exchange, we will actually need to go to this Linea faucet for us to be able to claim our TUSD tokens. In order for you to mint these TUSD tokens, you actually need to lock up some AVAX tokens. You need to go to this faucet on the Avalanche website, and you'll be able to claim 2 AVAX tokens every 24 hours. So what I did was I locked 2 of my AVAX tokens, and this will give me about 30 TUSD tokens. You may also want to note that each of these transactions will also cost you some AVAX in the form of gas fees. So it'll be best for you not to lock up all of your AVAX tokens to mint TUSD. If you want to get the UOE Fuji stablecoin, we can't do it on this Linea faucet site, and instead we need to go back to this Avalanche faucet, and under the tokens section, we can select the UOE stablecoin. I believe that claiming both the AVAX tokens as well as the UOE stablecoin are 2 separate transactions, so it's possible for you to get these requests every 24 hours without having to worry about whether you should be choosing to get the AVAX or the UOE stablecoin. Again, you can paste your address here and receive the tokens in your wallet. Now that we have both of these tokens, we can then go to the multi-chain website and we can bridge either the TUSD or the UOE stablecoin. So this will allow us to bridge it over to the Linea ZK EVM, and we can enter the amount that we wish to send over, and this will also cost a small amount of AVAX tokens on a testnet to pay for this transaction. Bridging your funds across the networks on multi-chain may actually take quite a while, and it took me about 30 minutes before my funds were received on the Linea ZK EVM. So after going through all of these different steps, the ones that I encountered the most problems was trying to bridge our funds from the BNB Smart Chain testnet to Linea using the seller network, and I was also unable to get the USDC tokens to bridge over using the Hop Exchange. Apart from all of these different actions that will get you 10 points each, you can complete these 2 simple tasks where all you need to do is to follow the Linea Twitter account as well as retweet one of their tweets. Do let me know in the comments if you'll be participating in this campaign, and if you still need any help with any of these steps, do also let me know in the comments below. These are just some of the steps that could help you to qualify for the Linea Airdrop in the future, but I previously created a video here where I show you some of the other decentralized applications that you could interact with, and this could increase your chances of getting the airdrop.